All right, here is the similar triangle word problems video. Um, I'm going to try to make it simple as possible. I think you'll be fine if you just remember. A lot of these are going to do with height and shadow, and then comparing two triangles. That's going to be about 75% of them. So anytime we see a height and shadow problem, like number one here, we are just going to make right triangles. Height will always go straight up. Shadow, your shadow always goes along the bottom. And then, we'll just complete it to make a right triangle. So a telephone pole, 10 meters tall. So this first triangle, I'll make my pole. It's 10 meters tall. Remember, that's pretty obvious that height goes straight up and down. So there would be your height. Well, our height will always be this straight up and down. So we're going to be very consistent, and there'll be nothing tricky about height and shadow. Cast a shadow that's 8 meters long. So there's my shadow. So there's my triangle that represents my pole. At the same time, a tree nearby casts a shadow of 10 meters long. Okay, so they tell us about this tree, and I'll make a triangle that represents the tree, and they only give us a piece of this tree, and they give us the shadow. So make sure you read carefully and know that that goes on the bottom. All right, how tall is the tree? Here's our height. That's our missing piece right there. Okay, so hopefully that picture was kind of easy to draw. So there's my tree triangle and my pole triangle, and we're going to set up proportions, and we're going to set up height over height. I don't care which triangle we put on top. So I'll just put the pole on top, height on top of height, and shadow on top of shadow. And we cross multiply, and we solve for x. That's pretty simple. I'm not going to go any further on this problem because this is as simple as I can make it there. Everybody should know what to do with that one. So here we got two triangles being compared for number 2. Triangle A has sides 12, 14, and 18. Triangle B has 72, 56, and 48. Are they similar? So a similarity test means we gotta check scale factors and see if the scale factors are equal in each side. Remember, the sides of similar triangles are proportionate, and each side has to have the same proportion. So let's take a look at our small triangle. Call this triangle A. Now, notice your sides 12, 14, and 18. This is where you have to be careful. Be consistent in your small, medium, and large, okay? If I put the small on the bottom of triangle A, I'm telling you, your life will be so much easier if you're consistent and put the smallest on bottom of B. Now notice, look at your sides of B. I purposely did this so you know it's not just put the first numbers on bottom. That our last number here is our smallest. So I'm going to put the 48 on the bottom. So be aware that it's not just first number on the bottom and first number on the bottom. Be consistent of small, medium, and large. So I'm going to put my 14 here, my 18 here, and my medium's the 56, corresponding with my other medium, and then 72 corresponding with my large. So what you're going to do is set up fractions. I'm going to say 14 over 56 and I'm going to do 12 over 48 and then 18 over 72 and check these decimals. 14 over 56 is a quarter. I know 12 divided by 48 is a quarter. Let's see if 18 divided by 72 is a quarter. They all come out to 0.25. That means every side is proportionate correctly. These are similar. All right. Two triangles, the scale factor of 2 to 5, 2 over 5. The small triangle has a side lengths of 10, 12, 14. What's the sides of the bigger triangle? And we can go ahead and find perimeter because you're going to have to find perimeter on some of these anyway. So consistent, I'm going to put my small there, my medium. Here I put my large. Okay, so we need sides of this. We need the sides of this bigger triangle. Remember, our scale factor is 2/5. If it's underneath 1 and 2/5, 2 divided by 5 is 0.4, it will shrink if we multiply it. So I'm not using the scale factor 2/5. I have to flip it. Now 5 divided by 2 is greater than 1. Now it will grow. So now it would take 10 times 5 over 2. And so 10 times 5 over 2 is 25. 12 times 5 over 2 is 30. And 14 times 5 over 2 is 35. So there's your side of the triangle, and you will need to be able to find a perimeter, so you will just add those up, and you should get 90, 25, 35, and 30. Okay, so here, if you have a problem like this, I will actually probably provide the picture at all times. Tiffany stands 10 feet away from the base of the building. So here's Tiffany with her soccer ball. Here is that number. Here is Tiffany. Here's that 10 that represents that. She's 5 foot tall. So that's easy. Remember, height always goes straight up. This is talking about the girl, not the building. So I put the 5 here. Cast a shadow of 8. So here's your shadow. Here's her shadow. So here's a triangle. And here's the big triangle, this one out here. Okay, how tall is the building? So I'm going to put height on top of height. Here's my variable. Height on top of height, x over 5. That's the easy part. You have to put the entire bottom. That is not 10. The entire bottom is 10 plus 8. This right here is the only hard part about this problem, is making sure you add the entire bottom. And then the entire bottom of the small triangle would be 8. And then you cross multiply and you got the height of your building. All right, so there is your word problem video.